Hi, I'm Dean. My team members are Karim Alaiddin, Yusuf Hatem, Rami Muhammad, and Mariam Al-Attar. Our project is basically about calculating attendance of students as long as they pass 75% of the session. This is basically our aim of the project. Our team name is Code Warriors, and we used components in the project. We used the Arduino Uno. We used LCD display. We used two IDs. We used RF reader, and we also used wires and breadboard, and we used smoke sensor and buzzer. I contributed in the part of reading IDs by the RF reader. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rami Muhammad. I contributed in the part of the array of measuring the attendance system. We made that by making an array of 5 index of from 0 to 4. In which 0 is the number of the ID, 1 is the start time of entrance of the student or the teaching assistant, 2 is the end time, and 3 is the summation of all the duration in which he was in class, and 5 is it's a 0 or 1. 0 if he's out of the class, 1 if he's in. And based on that, we calculate the duration of the attendance. If it exceeds 75% of the duration of attendance of the teaching assistant, then he get the attendance.
Hello, my name is Yusuf Hatem. I also helped in the part of calculating the attendance of each student and implementing the 2D array that holds the profile for each student. To elaborate more on what Rami has already said, we're using a 2D array with 26 indices, 25 for the students because a session can't have more than 25 students, and 1 for the instructor, which is the 26th index. As Rami has already said, each of these indices has another 5 indices holding the information that Rami has already explained. Now, for calculating the time and getting the current time each time the student enters or leaves, we're using the time.h library. Every time the student enters, we call the now function, which gets us the current time, and every time the student leaves, we also call the now function, which gets the current time as well. At the end of the session, we calculate the percentage of each student's duration with regards to the total duration of the instructor. And if they pass 75%, they're considered as attended. If they haven't passed 75, they're considered as not attended. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Karim. I was responsible for hooking up the RFID as well as writing the programming and hooking up the LCD. The RFID is connected by 2 pins to the coil that detects the IDs, as well as a VCC and a ground pin, and 2 pins for the information. The LCD was hooked up according to the diagram provided on the Arduino page, and we used the liquid crystal library for interacting with the LCD.
I'm Mariam. I contributed with the part of the smoke sensor and the buzzer. I connected them and wrote the code for that. Every time the smoke sensor detects a value greater than 200, the buzzer rings and the door opens.
Okay, we will now be showing you a demonstration of our project. Firstly, we have 2 LEDs. The red one represents that the door is closed, and the green one, which is now not lit, it represents that the door is open. Here we have our card reader. Here we have, this is the smoke sensor. And this is the LCD display on which we display how many students there are currently in class. And in our demonstration, what we will be doing is we will be having 1 instructor and 2 students. Of the 2 students, one of them will enter and leave quickly, so they will not be considered as attended. While the second student, we will leave them for a long while, and so by the time we are done, he should be considered as attended. This is the idea of the instructor, and now we will start the demonstration. As you can see, when the instructor entered, the green light lit up, meaning that the door got opened. And now this is the student is entering. As you can see, the green light lit up again. And now this number of students in class will increment from 0 to 1. Now the second student will enter. As you can see, the number of students will go up from 1 to 2. Okay. Now this student will exit, because this is the student that will be considered as not attended. Okay. And now we will wait for a small while for the first student to have stayed long enough to pass 75% of the class's duration. Okay, now the first student is going to exit. As you can see, the number of students has decremented. It has, will decrement from 1 to 0. Now there are no students in class. And now the instructor will exit. And this was our project. And as you can see, this is our attendance sheet after the session ended. We have one student whose ID is 5. They attended. While the second student, whose ID is 58, they are not considered as attended, as they entered and left very quickly, and they didn't pass 75% of the duration of the class.